The next day, Tom noticed that something was different. His stepmother was acting strange. She was quiet and avoided looking at him. He didn't know what had happened, but he felt uneasy. As he was about to head back to the woods to meet the owl, he noticed that the door to the house was locked from the inside. Tom quickly realized what had happened. He found a way to escape, running into the woods to see the owl. He explained to her what had happened, and the owl nodded calmly. "Don't worry, Tom," she said. "Your kindness will protect you. You must return home now." Tom didn't understand, but he trusted the owl. He went back home, and when he returned, he saw his father standing by the door. He looked angry and upset. "What has been going on here, Margaret?" he asked. "I have been watching how you treat Tom, and I can no longer ignore it." Margaret tried to act sweet, but her actions had already caught up with her. Tom's father, tired of being blind to her behavior, told her she had to leave. Margaret, feeling ashamed and defeated, left the house in a huff. Her plan failed. After Margaret left the house, she wandered aimlessly in the woods, feeling alone and ashamed of how she had treated Tom. She knew she had been selfish and greedy, but her pride had kept her from seeing it. As she walked through the trees, she came across the owl once again. The owl watched her carefully. "It is not too late to change," the owl said gently. "You can learn to be kind if you truly want to. But you must first understand that kindness comes from the heart, not from words." Margaret, realizing the truth in the owl's words, bowed her head. "I have been wrong," she said softly. "I have let my anger and jealousy control me, and now I see that I have lost everything." The owl smiled. "If you promise to change your ways and show kindness, I will help you again. But only if you are truly ready." Margaret agreed. She knew that she had to change, not just for her own sake, but for others as well. The owl agreed to help her, and from that day on, Margaret learned to treat others with kindness. With his stepmother gone, Tom's life took a different turn. The house felt quieter, and there was a sense of peace that hadn't been there before. His father, Mr. Green, seemed less tired now, and he started to pay more attention to Tom. He noticed the change in his son, how much stronger and happier Tom had become. For the first time in many years, Mr. Green truly saw Tom, and his heart filled with pride. "Tom," Mr. Green said one evening, "I see how much you've changed. You work hard, but I also see the kindness in you. I'm proud of you, son." Tom smiled shyly. "Thank you, Father. I'm just glad that things are better now." Tom continued to visit the owl every day, singing the song and bringing home plenty of food. But the owl did more than just help him with food. She taught him valuable lessons, not just about kindness, but also about the importance of patience, understanding, and taking care of others. The owl's advice helped Tom grow into a wise young man. He spent his days helping his father on the farm, taking care of the animals, and learning more from the owl. He also began helping the villagers who came to him for advice. They would often visit him for guidance, and Tom would listen carefully, offering his wisdom. People started to see him not just as the young boy who worked hard on the farm, but as someone who had something important to say. One day, a villager came to Tom in need of help. The man was struggling with his crops and didn't know what to do. "Tom," the man said, "I've been trying for weeks to get my crops to grow, but nothing is working. I've done everything I can think of. Can you help me?" Tom smiled gently. "Of course. Let's take a look together." With Tom's advice and a little help from the owl's lessons, the man's crops began to grow. He was overjoyed and thanked Tom over and over again. "I'll never forget your kindness, Tom. You've helped me when no one else could." Tom smiled and nodded. "I'm just happy to help." Years passed, and Tom grew into a young man, known throughout the village for his wisdom and kindness. He had become someone people looked up to. His father, now much older, was proud of the young man Tom had become. The two of them lived happily on the farm, working together and enjoying the fruits of their labor. One day, when Tom was walking through the woods to visit the owl, he felt a strange sense of calm. The owl had always been there to guide him, and now, as he grew older, he realized that he had learned everything he could from her. He was ready for the next part of his life. When Tom reached the owl's tree, he saw her waiting for him, just as she had all those years before. But this time, there was something different about her. She seemed even wiser, more serene. She looked at Tom with a knowing gaze. "Tom," the owl said, "you have learned all the lessons I can teach you. You are ready now, not just to live your life, but to guide others as well. You have the wisdom you need to help those who come to you, just as I helped you." Tom felt a deep sense of gratitude and understanding. He had always known that the owl had been special, but now he saw that she had given him more than just food. She had given him wisdom, and with that wisdom, he could help others. The owl smiled softly. "You are now ready to take care of the forest and its creatures. The knowledge I have shared with you will guide you for the rest of your life. You will always be part of the forest, and your kindness will never go unnoticed." Tom nodded, understanding the depth of what the owl was saying. "Thank you for everything, Owl. You've changed my life." The owl gave a final nod, and with that, she flew away, disappearing into the trees. Tom stood there for a moment, feeling the weight of her words. He knew that he was ready to take on the responsibility of caring for the land and helping others with the wisdom he had gained. After the owl left, Tom continued his work on the farm with his father. But now he was also helping the villagers in even bigger ways. His advice was sought for all kinds of problems, from planting crops to managing the animals. People from surrounding villages came to ask for his help, and Tom always did his best to guide them with kindness and wisdom. As time went on, Tom's reputation as a wise and fair leader grew. People respected him not only for his knowledge, but also for his heart. He had learned from the owl that kindness was the most important thing a person could offer, and he carried that lesson with him in everything he did. Tom's father, now very old, watched proudly as Tom took on more and more responsibilities in the village. "You have become a fine young man, Tom," he said one day. "I am proud of you, son. You have taken care of me, and now you take care of the village. I couldn't have asked for a better son." Tom smiled at his father, his heart full. "Thank you, Father. I couldn't have done it without the lessons I've learned from the owl. She taught me so much." One day, after many years of guiding the village, Tom received a call from the woods. He felt a deep, familiar pull, and he knew it was time to visit the owl again. He walked through the trees one last time, feeling a sense of peace and readiness for whatever lay ahead. When he reached the owl's tree, he found her waiting for him, just as she had always done. But this time, there was no teaching to be done. The owl looked at Tom with gentle eyes and smiled. "You have done well, Tom," she said. "You have carried my teachings with you and have spread them to others. You are ready to guide the forest and its creatures, just as I did for you." Tom nodded, understanding. "Thank you, owl. I will never forget what you've taught me." With a final look, the owl spread her wings and flew away, disappearing into the trees. Tom stood quietly, feeling her presence in the forest. He knew that the lessons she had taught him would stay with him forever. Tom's life continued in the village. He became a respected leader, known for his wisdom, kindness, and generosity. People came to him for advice, and Tom always shared what he had learned from the owl. He helped others, just as the owl had helped him. His life was full of happiness, and he never stopped caring for the animals, the land, and the people around him. Tom never forgot the owl, who had been his guide and teacher. Every time he looked out at the forest, he remembered the lessons she had given him, and in his heart, he knew that her wisdom would continue to guide him, just as it always had. The end.